Welcome to the MIA Animation Conference and Festival. We're taking you behind the scenes to meet the world's most talented animators. Join us as we talk with these modern-day magicians about the changing industry, latest technology, and their magic in the making. Wow, do we have quite a resume in front of us with Drew. Wow, tell us about the role that you like to play most in this sort of production and animation world.
I love working with the artists. The artists are the most fun to work with, and I love the development phase and the pre-production phase, because it's in that phase where we really define who the characters are and the journey that they're going to go on, and we figure out the story we want to tell people, and we figure out the characters that everyone's going to relate to.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about what you look for when you're hiring artists.
For me, our schedules are so tight, and the pictures are so big that I work on. So for my crew, experience, a track record, people I don't have to babysit. So I actually find it really hard sometimes to to be able to take the risk to hire a new person who I haven't worked with, or someone I know hasn't worked with. Yeah. But I do love the opportunity when I get to work with people I've never worked with. It is actually really fun. This past movie, I got to work with a lot of new artists that I had not met before, and it was fast and fun, and they impressed me, and I was happy to look outside my Rolodex, actually.
Well, one of the things I read in your bio is that you really believe in mentoring, and that's important to you. And we look at, a lot of these students don't have a track record, they don't have experience, and so they need to be mentored to get to the point where you feel comfortable hiring them.
Right. So the first step in that is getting a portfolio for them that is really strong enough to get them into a bigger job. So for me, the biggest advice I can give students who are graduating right now is to have a look at your portfolio and probably toss out most of the stuff you did in school and start from scratch. Because what's happened is you have this amazing brain full of software and technique and knowledge, but it's not showing in a piece of work that you jammed out in 5 weeks or 10 weeks or something. Right. So take that piece of work out of your portfolio and then put in a new piece of artwork that you spend 4 months on. Or a month on, or depending on what the project is. But I feel like in school you're getting talented, more and more talented, but you haven't got the time to create those portfolio-worthy pieces.
Right. Yeah. So what kind of advice do you give to a young student who wants to find a mentor or someone maybe that could take them under their wing a little bit to move them through the, not only getting a degree, but doing the real work?
The beauty of the animation industry is we are a very small and friendly group. And every single one of the artists and everyone started exactly where the student is starting. So when a student reaches out to me, for example, and I also teach on the side, so I do end up doing a lot of mentoring along the way. But when a student reaches out to me, it's very easy to want to, get them going with advice first to start with, and then make introductions as needed to help them find other mentors.
Excellent. So you're on the board of directors of the conference?
Miami International Animation Conference.
Yes. Yep. And you've been to how many?
Well, 4 out of the 5, because I had a baby in between.
Yes.
So I missed
Good excuse. It's legit. We forgive you. But tell us how it's grown, this conference, and then also tell us the role, since you're out in LA, tell us how do we become real production sister cities?
Well, in the first question, it's grown a lot since it started. Mauricio had the vision and asked me for help. I always tell the story. We were sitting in a bar in Pittsburgh, is how it all started, and Mauricio leaned over to me and said, "Drew, do you want to have a film festival, help me with an animation festival in Miami?" And I was still living in LA, and I said, "Yeah." And then we just drank our beers. And then a few months later, he said, "Okay, it's all set. You pick the speakers, and here are the dates. We've got the venue.
You're in."
And I said, "Oh, this is actually happening." Because in my world, a lot of people have ideas. A lot of people have good ideas, but getting them to fruition is a whole other journey.
Okay, yeah.
And so I say yes to my friends 9 out of 10 times. I'll say yes to anything that anyone asks me for help on, and it falls through for one reason or another. And so when I said yes to Mauricio, it wasn't that I didn't believe in him. It's just that I'll do anything to support you. You're my friend. Of course I'll help you. But he actually made it into fruition. That was just the first festival.
Right.
And then he says, Drew, we're going to build a program at Miami-Dade, an entire new complex. We're going to call it Magic. And he came up with the pseudonym for it. And we're going to start a whole program. And our conference is going to grow. I go, okay, yeah. So pick the speakers. Okay. So gradually we've been.
So you're in charge of all these people that I've been interviewing.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them,
Well, you've got a great crowd here.
It's the beauty of it. Is they're just, most of them are just my friends.
Yeah.
And that's what I did the first year, because I didn't know if we were going to be 2 people would show up or 2,000 people would show up. I didn't know.
Right.
So you pick your friends that you know can handle both. They
Yeah.
would be happy to talk to 2 people. They'd be happy to talk to 2,000 people.
Yes.
So as it's been growing, it's been really fun to see them, everything grow. And it feels like Mauricio has a little golden touch on his projects because they just happen. It's amazing and impressive. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me quickly, what do you think about this relationship between LA and Miami?
Okay, so for the relationship, I think we've always wanted an animation and film community in Miami. I mean, we've tried and failed several times now. If you look at the different history that's happened of bringing more film and animation to Florida, in different parts of Florida. For me, you just have to look at Atlanta to find out exactly how to get animation and film to Miami, to Florida. You have to look at Atlanta is booming because of their tax incentive. So
I know get started in the legislature. We're working on it.
It's a business.
Yeah.
In the end, it's a
absolutely.
business.
Yeah.
And when you go to the studio and say, "We'd love to do more work in Florida," they're going to say, What's the Florida? Yeah,
right.
It's much easier.
Well,
to
and
sell.
so we've got to work with this complex and developing the talent and making sure we have the tax incentives. Okay, last thing, you have a movie that's coming out.
Yes.
Tell us about it, and then we'll wrap up.
Thank you. At Christmas 2015, we are opening Alvin and the Chipmunks for Road Trip. And it releases in December. We are up against Star Wars.
Oh.
So for anyone who has already seen Star Wars, or is too young to see Star Wars, or just couldn't get in because there were too many tickets sold to Star Wars.
Road Trip.
Road Trip.
All right, with that, we're going to wrap up. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay, thank you.